Show.
Oh my God, I love you so much!
On 97.7 FM, The City.
Greetings, blessings, and good fortune, everybody. It's another Thursday. Glad to be with you today. We are on 97.7 KCYP, The City, out of McAllen, Texas. Yes, that's terrestrial radio, real radio, ladies and gents. We're also going out on TuneIn Radio. We're going out on YouTube. We're going out on Facebook. Both the Joe Martinez 97.7 Facebook and YouTube, and the Bitcoin Otter Facebook and YouTube. Glad to see you here. We got some interesting stuff. A lot of interesting stuff going on. And I know you know, because those of you that, partake in this show that I try to make as entertaining as possible, much because you are actually participating, and I thank you for that. You know that the fact of the matter is there are some crazy things going on. There are things that, there are some unprecedented things, and then there are some things that are part of the usual, you know what I mean? So I'm looking just to see if we got anybody popping up yet. Let's see. We got, looks like Matt and Mike. Awesome. Good to see you guys. We got our normal intro. Let everybody know, and I'm sure you guys are already up on this, but just in case someone hasn't had the time to look at the real news, the economic barometer, if you will, gold is at, earlier today, $2,377 for 1 ounce of gold. That is popping. That's popping. Gold is, I'm not going to say that it's completely outside of the range that they've placed it in. The control, of course, illegal and unconstitutional control that is basically weighing gold and silver down. That has not been broken yet, but it's loosening. How do we know? Silver, $28.48. I've been following this for a while. Silver has not been that high on the spot price for a while. Now, don't think you're going to get an ounce of silver for $28.48. You won't. There'll be high premiums because it's worth much more than that. Bitcoin earlier today, $63,490 for one Bitcoin. Now, we don't. Those of us in our, how would you say, pay scale, we don't buy whole Bitcoins. Maybe some of us can. I can't, right? So a little bit here, a little bit there. It'll get you where you want to be. Michael Saylor, remember this. Michael Saylor told us one time that if you have 0.1 Bitcoin in the future, you're going to be set. So you buy it now when it's still cheap. And you might be saying, well, $63,490 is not cheap. No, but it is cheap compared to what it's going to be. And that's me speaking. No tie. I am not a financial advisor, just so you know. By the way, halving is 1 day away, approximately 1 day away. Okay. The Bitcoin rewards to the Bitcoin miners, which is the way Bitcoin is mined, which is the way it's minted, which is the way it's been distributed since 2009 when it began. That reward will be halved. It will be cut in half. It will take the fresh supply of Bitcoin and cut it in half. 1 day away. What happens when you take a commodity, you take a good or a service, and you have it? Oh, well, it becomes more valuable. Who else we got? Ian, Sue, good to see you. And Jim is on. Thanks, guys. And Dad, you're probably on too. If you're watching, I love you, Dad. Who else we got here? Let's see. Let's get it on. Thanks, Ian. What do you got here, Matt? What's going on with Princess Kate? You see different picture comparison. Where is the real princess? Interesting, Matt. Interesting. I didn't have that on the slate, but I'm glad you brought that up. Let me just go into a little segue here, a little sidebar before we hit the mortgage rates. Matt, you and I both know that there are many hinky things going on. I mean, hinky as in shaky as in downright crooked things. Now, one of those things, and this is still in the conspiracy theory bin. Why? Because it's still about a week out from it to be confirmed. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, more than a week, but we now know that most conspiracy theories come true. Why are they called conspiracy theories? Well, that's because the three-letter agencies wanted to throw deprecation upon people who used their logical thinking skills because they might be figuring out what it was they were doing to screw us on a daily basis. So conspiracy theory now has about a month downtime before its actual factual, provable truth. But you and I all know, we know, well, it's probably true. So Kate, what's up with Kate? I'm not going to say that, something very bad happened to her, but I will say that people of her ilk, other people might say celebrity, people of that ilk, I believe at this point in time have doubles. I sincerely believe that. Otter, you're crazy. You're nuts. Oh, dude, you're way off. You know what? Look at that guy they call the president, that I call the resident. Have you ever seen old photos and new photos? Yeah, but that's the miracle of plastic surgery, Otter. You got to understand that they can do things now. I do understand that. But let me flip it. Maybe the doubters have to understand that, yeah, since plastic surgeons can do things, so can the people who work on prosthetics, meaning plastic masks. Now, when you go to some sort of, how would you say, identity verification course, I'm vaguely familiar with one. When you go through these things, you look at certain features of a human face, and those certain features cannot change over time. What do you mean? Well, the distance between the nose and the upper lip, okay? You've got bone structure in the jaw, and a very, very telltale sign is ear structure, okay? So many people have the earlobe attached to the face. Others have it detached and flopping. You can't change that. It's just not changed. Facelift is not going to change that. Nose job won't change that, obviously. So keep these things in mind. But for real, Matt, I don't know. I don't know what's up with Kate. I'm learning about some other things that maybe if we have some time, I'll get into. And again, always, if you want me to dig into something, because I love digging into this stuff, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. So mortgage rates, they're not looking any better, right? So if you're looking for a house, a 30-year rate is going to be 7.3%, 0.03. 15-year rate, 6.5%. So again, if you can wait to buy a house, it's probably very well advised to wait. But again, Nicole, good to see you. It's very, in my opinion, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but if I had the ability to, or if I was in the market to buy, I would wait unless it was an emergency. But that's just me, CoinDesk, okay, a little bit of Bitcoin news. CoinDesk. This is from November 10 of 2023. And I'm doing what I'm doing with this little bit here. I'm doing it because I want to tell you that some people are not wrong when they predict the price of Bitcoin. Let me explain. So CoinDesk from November 10, 2023 had this article. Bitcoin could hit 69,000 by mid-2024 as it enters acceleration phase, analyst says to Crypto News or CoinDesk. So in just a little bit more, Bitcoin prices could regain their lifetime peak price of over 69,000 by mid-2024. Now they have reasons, right? Acceleration phase, whatever they mean by that. But this came out in November 10th, okay? Now, Bitcoin hit 69,000 on the 10th of March, okay? So it was still in the first, well, maybe not in the first quarter, but it was basically happened 3 months ahead of time from when they said, because they said June, the midpoint, right? So some people are right when they're predicting Bitcoin. Now, does that mean that they're all right? Oh, no, definitely not. But some people are right. So when you hear them talking about huge Bitcoin numbers, maybe consider it. Just maybe consider it. So Bitcoin.com says Bitcoin to hit 122,000 in 2024. We're in 2024 right now. So am I saying this is going to happen? No. What I'm saying is it's possible. The potential is there. Everyone can see that it has potential, right? Are there other things at play? Of course. But the fact of the matter is Bitcoin has that potential, unlike many other things. Now, Bitcoin to hit 122,000 in 2024 predicts Finder's latest survey of experts. Finders, I don't exactly know what Finders is, but we can look it up. Periodically, the product comparison website, Finder.com, releases a new price prediction survey focusing on key cryptocurrencies and gathers a wide array of crypto and fintech experts for their perspectives. According to the most recent report on Bitcoin forecasts, the panel of experts anticipates that Bitcoin could attain a value in the six-figure range by 2024. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, wouldn't it be nice? Beach Boys, right? I'm old. I am old. And I won't sing anymore. I'm sorry. So, this is on X. Representative Andy Ogles. I don't know who he is, but he says that, okay, you will not be surprised at this, but this is what he's telling us. This was on X again. $300 million for the State Border Guard Service of Ukraine, but nothing for the U.S. Customs and Border Protection? Why would he say that? Well, the new bill says, and this is directly from the new bill, for an additional amount for international narcotics control and law enforcement, yeah, sure, $300 million to remain available until September 30, 2025, for assistance for Ukraine and countries impacted by the situation in Ukraine. Get the last part, the kicker. Provided that such funds may be available to support State Border Service of Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, $300 million is going to go to the Ukraine Border Patrol. $300 million to the Ukrainian Border Patrol. Now, isn't that kicking the Jimmy? I think so. In fact, I know so. But is there anybody there that truly represents us that's going to stop it? I think not. I think not. So, $300 million to the Border Patrol. No, wait. The Ukrainian Border Patrol. Yeah, because they're Ukraine. They're not a taxpayer. Doesn't that make sense to you? Huh? Charlie Kirk. This is again on X. One of two U.S. plants that produce 155 millimeter artillery shells went up in flames yesterday. The plant also makes 105 millimeter artillery projectiles, 120 millimeter mortar rounds, 203 Mike naval shells, and a variety of smoke, illumination, and incendiary rounds up in smoke. Just like our food processing factories, up in smoke. Now ammunition. So in addition to the fact that we're giving our ammunition to, oh, you know who, Ukraine, because they need it, and we have a lack of ammunition here in the United States, well, one of the plants went up in smoke. Gone, maybe, I don't know, disabled, maybe, who knows? Are they going to tell us the truth? That we know. They won't. So the fact of the matter is, not only our ability to eat is being compromised by the usual suspects, right? We've got beef processing plants, pork processing plants, chicken processing plants, okay? All these plants, these food processing plants, are going up in smoke. They're burning or whatever. If you don't believe me, that's fine. Use your critical skills. That's great. Don't believe what other people say. I understand that. But look it up. Do yourself at least that favor. Look it up. So why is this important? Well, if you want food in the future, and most of us do, I'm addicted to it personally. If you want food, you might want to buy some now because the future might not hold as much as we do now. I'm not fear-mongering. This is not fear porn at all. I'm just saying do your own research and do what you think is proper for yourself and your family. That's what we're all about here at the Bitcoin Otter Show, the Bitcoin Otter Private Membership Association, okay? We're all about getting you into the position where you can prepare yourself to the degree you wish for you and your family. We're not telling you anything that you have to do. We certainly aren't tyrants like, the occupants of the White House. But we do want you to be prepared if you want to be. If not, well, that's on you. That's fine. This is from the Gateway Pundit. DC National Guard whistleblowers reveal Pentagon under direction of Mark Milley, one of those TV generals, refused to deploy guard until after 5 p.m. Now, this is on the January 6th cover-up operation. The communists call it an insurrection, but we all know that it was the opposite of that, meaning it was the cover up for their own insurrection in November of 2020. Okay. So that operation, the January 6th operation, where 3-letter agencies were involved, we had all kinds of feds on the ground, incognito, little mics in their ears, with go Trump, Trump, 2020, all that kind of stuff. They had to blend in with people who were real. And these people are definitely not real. In fact, I would say that they are actually, they're traitors themselves. At least double digits, high double digits of these agent provocateurs, if you will, that get a paycheck from the federal government, at least high double digits, maybe more. I would assume more, but that's me. We're in the crowd that day. And as anyone who knows how to think and doesn't watch TV knows, President Donald Trump not only authorized, but recommended that the National Guard be deployed on that day in that place. Yeah. And it was denied by two scoundrels. Scum. It was Nancy Pelosi and Bowser. I can't remember her first name, but the last name says it all. Bowser. They basically refused to allow the National Guard to protect people, to protect the Capitol. Why? Because they already knew that the operation was in effect. They opened up the gates. You'll see all this on the video if you don't watch TV. If you watch TV, I'm surprised you're watching this or listening to this, because you won't learn anything that is pre-digested, because that's what TV does for you. So, as we know, January 6th was a fiasco. January 6th was an operation by the usual suspects to distract people from the real insurrection and all that fraud that occurred in 2020. Now, 4 members of the National Guard testified on Wednesday that they were ready to be deployed on January 6th, but the Pentagon held them back. This directly brings General Milley's action into question. Of course it does. Of course it does. Now, before I forget, I want to bring up a little sidebar. Most of you people think this, Mike, good to see you. Most of you people might think that this is a little bit humorous, but when you think of the fact that this old, perhaps decrepit individual, this resident of the White House, the resident of the United States, when you think that he has, and I don't think he has control of much of anything, but if you do think that he has control of, let's say, the military as the commander-in-chief, if you think that, have you really ever watched him speak and listen to his words? So this latest one, he's talking to these steel workers. I can't remember where he was. I think it was Pennsylvania. And he goes on this story, this narrative story of his that he does. He does this fairly often. And he speaks, I think it was his grandfather, it might have been his uncle, who was in war, because, the Bidens, the patriotic, group that, not only smoke crack like Hunter, not only carry illegal guns like Hunter, but apparently they were in wartime too. So says Joe, the resident. Now, Joe says that Grandpa Biden was fighting in some war somewhere in an airplane. He was a pilot, and he got shot down over New Guinea. Yeah, this is what he says. Now, he's telling this to steelworkers. Now, I mean, I don't really have a lot of rapport with steelworkers, but I'd imagine that they're, salt of the earth, down to earth guys that, have like a BS. They got this detector in them, I'm sure, because they work with their hands and they know that anything that the government says is a lie, right? Because they see it on the ground. Anyway, so he tells these people who I would imagine have a very low tolerance for BS, tells them that his grandfather was shot down of his airplane over New Guinea, but they can't find him. They can't find Grandpa Biden. Why can't they find Grandpa Biden? Well, you see, there are many cannibals in New Guinea. Yes. Cannibals in New Guinea ate Grandpa Biden, according to Joe. Guys, I would love to say you can't make this stuff up, but Joe makes this stuff up. Grandpa Biden eaten by cannibals. Don't believe me. Believe Joe. Wowzers. Sue says the Gateway Pundit updated list based U.S.-based food manufacturing plants destroyed. Thank you, Sue. In the comments, thank you very much, Sue. We have an article that basically gives you a rundown of all of the food processing or manufacturing plants that have been burned down recently. I'm saying within the last year or 2 years, maybe, here in the United States. Do you think that's an accident? I don't. I don't at all. So, if this wasn't radio, we might give a moment of silence for Grandpa Biden. I'm sure he's been digested long ago. But the fact of the matter is, Grandpa Biden was, I don't know if he was the main entree, an appetizer. Do they have hors d'oeuvres in New Guinea? I don't know, but sorry, Grandpa. Sorry. On to other things. The Gateway Pundit. Ghost town. Office buildings in New York City set new record for emptiness. Wow. Isn't that a surprise? New York? Empty office buildings? Wow. That's such a surprise, seeing as they were one of the first to shut down and being proud of shutting down their whole city based on a very, very, curable disease. They called it a pandemic. Yeah. They said it was COVID-19 that definitely did not come from a Wuhan biolab. When now we found out that, 15 United States, this was last week, we covered this, 15 United States security agencies knew that there were hundreds of COVID-19-like variants in the Wuhan lab that Fauci denied existed. But, they gave us the story of the wet market. Yeah, somebody was trading squid. They got COVID. What are you going to do? It's a danger of wet markets, apparently. So, New York City has a serious and growing problem with empty office space. Yes, it does. Between rising crime, high taxes, and the crazy rules of the pandemic a few years ago, people have fled the city in huge numbers. Well, of course, the state also. Now the city is home to a record number of empty office buildings. The lack of revenue from these properties has got to be hurting the city's bottom line, and the policies of the current mayor are not helping. Who would want to spend millions of dollars to open a new office in Manhattan right now? I'll give you the number 0. Not to mention the persecution of Donald Trump, the leading candidate in the 2024 election, by and I'm going to say it, the criminals in the DA's office. They sit behind the bench there. They wear robes. Yeah. Who knows? I'm not trying to predict what's under there, but they wear robes. They call themselves judges. I don't think that there's any form of justice there, unless you want to call, it something twisted, but there's no semblance of that. So why should there be a semblance of anything else like economics, correct, lawful economics in New York City? There shouldn't be in New York State. So Sue's on here. Maybe the New Guineans ate the food. Yeah, it could be. Corinne's on. Zaya says hi. My grandson says hi. Hi, Zaya. Good to see you. Hang in there, big guy. So the fact of the matter is, nobody wants to be in New York City, especially businessmen. Why? Look at what they're doing to Donald Trump, who is arguably the biggest businessman, real estate guy in New York City. They're persecuting him. Why? Because they claim he overestimated Mar-a-Lago, when what they are doing is criminally underestimating it. Why do I say criminally? Because they're making it up. They're making it up. Yeah, Ngoran or whatever his name is, Soran, is making it up as they go along. Yeah, they'll have something that they'll point at and say, well, yeah, this is the reason why we value it at 18 million or whatever it is. This is the reason. It's not the reason. The reason is because they're paid to say those things. They're crooked, but it's not hard to figure out, right? So this is from CBS News. Migrant charged. Some of these things are pretty heavy, ladies and gentlemen. Some of these things are heavy, and I don't want to take this in a bantering or light tone. CBS News says, and a lot of others, a migrant was charged with raping a teen at Rockland Hotel, is Rockland, Massachusetts, uses as shelter. Now, CBS News is crooked. CBS News is the enemy, and they don't add that this teen was a special needs girl. Yeah. So this migrant, as CBS News calls this human fecal matter, a migrant. Okay. A man was arrested and charged with child rape at a hotel in Rockland being used to house migrants. Corey Alvarez, 26, was arraigned Thursday on one count of aggravated rape of a child. He's being held without bail pending the outcome of a dangerousness hearing. This dangerousness hearing, ladies and gents, this should be heard in Congress when they allow massive amounts of illegal immigration. That's your dangerousness hearing location, not in a court after a girl, a disabled girl, was raped. Alvarez's defense attorney said he came here from Haiti and is part of the migrant system. No. CBS, do I have my pen on me? Migrant system is not what it is. It's called an invasion. Invasion. There, I fixed it. So I just want you all to know that, Louis, good to see you, Louis. This trash is part of the program that flies illegal aliens. I said it. Illegal aliens. I said it again. Why it's a legal term is illegal alien. It's a legal term. It's in the law. You know, that thing that no one in Congress looks at, that thing that no one in these federal agencies looks at. It's called a law. On the books already. You don't need anything just to enforce it. You just do it. You know, illegal aliens are being bypassed through the border, past the border. They fly over the border in this program. You may not have known about it, okay? But it bypasses immigration law so that they can come right in and they don't have to worry about bothering the Border Patrol with extra work. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? That's what the resident's doing for you. The resident of the United States loves this stuff. Yeah. All of it. Every little bit of it. Now, I don't want to, be a Debbie Downer or nothing. So we're not going to focus on that for the whole show. Understandably, right? What I would like to say is that right now, just, to break things up a bit after that heinous report, right? That we all know this stuff is going on. And CBS sugarcoats it because they had to come out with something, right? So what I would like to say is that we do have good times coming up. Well, what do you mean, Otter? Things look down, things are looking bad. Well, they look that way for a reason. Why do they look that way? Because the bad guys are losing control. Well, how do you know, Otter? Give us a little bit of, something that'll at least reinforce your opinion that the bad guys are losing control. Okay? So, listen, we see different types of signs, signals all the time. Let me give you one in my personal life. Actually, it's in my business life. So, if you know, this Bitcoin Otter thing is really a business, it's a nonprofit that teaches people how to buy Bitcoin in a secure way, transfer it from wherever you buy it in a secure way to a private wallet owned by you, and secure it there for you and your family if you need these funds in the future. That's the kernel right there of the Bitcoin Otter Private Membership Association, of which you can be a part. bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. Send me an email. We're working on the Bitcoin Otter, the new bitcoinotter.com website. We're getting on that, and it's my fault. Sue is the webmaster. Also, let me throw in a plug for Sue, please. My sister Sue, she's out here on the line right here. watching, if you guys want a website, she's not going to kill you. She's not going to beat you up for the prices. Vince Vaughn said in what was that? Old School. Well, I'm not going to beat you up. Sue won't beat you up. She's not going to beat you up, not for the price of speakers and not for the price of your website. Okay. She's not going to beat you up. She's going to do you right. Okay. Very reasonable. She'll work with you. And unless you're like me, when you don't give a lot of input, your website will be done pretty quick. Okay. But me, whatever. I'm me. I haven't gotten back to her on a lot of things, but we will have the website up and running. Okay. And she's already got it looking great, but we're going to put some things in there that are going to give you all interactive ability on the website. And maybe we'll even do the show from there at some point in time. We might have to, because we're going to get kicked off of Facebook sooner or later, right? YouTube sooner or later, right? Sooner or later. There's just way too much truth going out for them to allow us to continue. So how do I know? My business account on Cash App, okay, was linked to my bank account, and you probably remember I got debanked because I deal in cryptocurrency. So I was debanked. I got another bank. It's called Old Glory. They're patriotic. Check them out. They didn't pay me to say that, so I'm not going to go on and on about it. But Old Glory, so far, has been a good bank to me, and the Bitcoin Otter private membership association. So I linked a Cash App account to the Bitcoin Otter Old Glory account. Well, I got a message from Cash App very recently, and it said that Cash App deactivated business accounts from buying Bitcoin. Oh, really? Why would they do that? Well, they were very adult about it. In fact, condescendingly so. Some features are no longer available to you on a business account, they said. Now I'm adding the tone because this is the way it sounded to me, even in an email. Business accounts, this is them schooling me because I'm a child, right? Cash App said, business accounts are used for business purposes only. And I'm sure they shook their head as they typed, the way I'm doing it now. To emphasize, the following personal features are not supported on certain business accounts: Cash App card, family accounts, investing, Bitcoin. So they're telling me, right, a businessman, the CEO of the Bitcoin Otter Association, that investing and Bitcoin purchases they don't belong on a business account, because Cash App says business accounts are used for business purposes only. And that's not part of business, they say. I'd like to tell the jackasses at Cash App that according to businesses, Fortune 500 businesses, Bitcoin is a Class A asset. What does that mean? It means that it's as good as gold on your ledger, on your balance sheets as a business. If you hold Bitcoin and you're going to show people that your company is worth this, that, or the other, Bitcoin is just as good as gold on your balance sheets for assets as a business investment. Up yours, Cash App. Oh, and investing isn't for businesses. Investing isn't for businesses, Cash App. Up yours, Cash App. Anyway, how is that anyway correlated to the fact that the good guys are winning? Well, and this is me writing, and I'll ad lib in a second, but when the Deep State International Criminal Syndicate, however you want to put it, Illuminati, whatever you want to say, has to step up their tactics in real time, we know we're winning. They didn't prepare for this. Okay? They never thought they were going to lose in 2016. They never thought they were going to lose. They knew they were going to lose in 2020, and that's what they did. That's why they did what they did in 2020. And they know without a shadow of a doubt that they're going to lose a fair election in 2024. There's no stinking way. No way. And they know it. It is impossible for them to win a fair election in 2024. And they know it. So that's why we're going to have many of these things coming up. This invasion of illegal immigrants, this invasion of, people burning down our food processing plants, people burning down our ammunition factory, the government themselves burning up our strategic reserve of oil. I haven't touched on that in a while. But the fact of the matter is, we have good things to look for. And I'm telling you, one of them is, okay? They're reacting now. They're not posting up prior to events. I mean, they are that we don't know have existed yet, or they haven't come to us yet. They haven't come to pass. But just the fact that they're reacting in this way means that they're seeing that people like you and me are winning. People like you and me are actually succeeding when we say we want to get on a parallel economy because we know this one's going in the crapper. Okay? There's a big crapper at the end of the rainbow of the Federal Reserve. We don't want to be there. They want us there. Okay? They want us there because that's when they make the money. Okay? And that's when they're going to wrestle us into the central bank digital currency. That's what they're going to do. But we're not going to be there because we're shifty, right? We're shifty. We're going to get to the side. We're going to go, you know how they have those things on the railroad? It shunts off and we're going to go in a different direction. We're going to go parallel because we're still going to go forward. But we're going to do it in a different way and they want to stop us. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I love Bitcoin so much, because they can't stop Bitcoin. Bitcoin is decentralized. They can't find the guy and strong arm him. The guy who made up Bitcoin, they can't find him. Or the team, perhaps, that made up Bitcoin. Okay? Now, you might think, well, they have the complete ability to find anyone on this earth. Well, maybe they do and maybe they don't. But the fact of the matter is, Bitcoin remains decentralized all over the world. All over the world. And that's why they can't control it. Now, that's why they can't control those of us that want to buy Bitcoin. And they hate it. It's their kryptonite. And they know it. Because if there is an escape from the Federal Reserve System, then there will be a large contingent of us that used our own brains, not the ones that we were educated with. That brain, that's for TV. Our brains that God gave us enable us to use critical thinking skills, logic, and parse out or discern information into either facts or, funny stuff, whatever. Using that side of our brain, using that part of our brain, the one that the education system didn't corrupt, contaminate, okay? Using that part of our brain, we can get on a parallel to this economy. And many of us have. Now, I'm not far along. I don't have a lot. I've got a family to support, mouths to feed, if you will, mortgage to pay, car note, all that, right? And you're in the same situation, I understand. But just to be on that parallel is a great thing. Because when that thing, that train, that, dumpster fire goes, you're going to have a way to feed your family. You're going to have a way, hopefully, to pay your mortgage so, they don't lose your house or you don't die in a hill of brass because they're trying to take it. So the fact of the matter is, we can do this. We are doing it. And I'm here to help you do it. Okay? If you have any ideas as to how I can better help you and others, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. Okay? We're well past the halfway point. That have just joined us, please know you are listening to, here in the McAllen area, 97.7 FM, KCYP, the city, coming at you from the McAllen Creative Incubator, right here in McAllen, the old library. And if you're watching us, you might be on Facebook or YouTube. Okay, we're restreaming this. Or possibly on TuneIn Radio or Radio Garden. Those are two apps that you can get radio stations and shows all around the world. So, what I'm trying to get at, after a very macabre story of one of Joe Biden's finest that he flew in, this guy got flown in so that he commit crimes against disabled people. I'm not saying that was Joe's purpose, because Joe's purpose is just to maybe chew a cud and do whatever he does in his state, whatever that state might be. But the fact of the matter is, the evil bastards, the criminal syndicate, they have brought people in, not nice people. Yeah, there's family units coming in. Yeah, there's people looking for a new life. I understand all that. They're not all bad. But when you empty out your prisons, you empty out, like these nations are doing, empty out your insane asylums and throw them to America. Why? Well, because that's the plan. Okay? They don't want, good people coming into the U.S. They want to use these people in the future, either to vote or to burn down cities when they, give the go. Okay? Does anybody remember 2016? Does anybody remember the summer of 2016? Does anybody remember what happened after Donald Trump was elected in 2016? I know some of you do. Corinne, Cash App deactivated my account, and when I called support about it, they replied, "We cannot give you an answer because," I'm hitting the thing here, "there isn't one listed." Jerry, good to see you. Because there isn't one listed. Because all these people know is how to regurgitate what the company line is. So Cash App is not going to give you any real information. They're only going to give you the canned information. And apparently they didn't can that response to you, Corinne. That wasn't in the cards, apparently. They're not going to give you a reason because they don't have to. So what should we do? Well, my opinion, when Cash App shuts you down, you try PayPal, it has its problems, right? Very much has its problems. And I'm sure they're going to do the same thing. These are not autonomous. There is no free enterprise in the United States anymore. So that is going to be affected, right? How do you do this? You have to use a little bit of, how would you say, ingenuity. You don't have to be original about it. There's a lot of people out there that you can look up and you can find out, hey, how do I get this bought? How do I store this? How do I do that? And I'm here to help you. BitcoinOtter.media@gmail.com. I can help you out. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. I'm not going to tell you how to invest your money. I won't do any of that. I can't. Okay? Because that would put us into all kinds of bad places that I'm not prepared to put you or me into, right? I'm not prepared and I don't want to do that. What I can do is give you a list of options. I can give you information. Okay. And you just by the fact you're listening to this and you're watching this means you're not a TV watcher. And if you are, well, then you don't do it 24/7 because if you did, you'd probably be brain dead by now. But the fact is, I will help you prepare. I will do this for you. Okay. I will do I won't invest for you. I will gather information for you. That's what I can do. That's part of what I do. This is part of what God has put me on this earth for. Why? Have I known? No, I haven't. I don't know why. Absolutely. And I don't know, that this was always meant for me to do. I'm not sure. I just feel a pull, a calling, if you will, to help people out in this way. That's what I'm doing. That's why we have the nonprofit Bitcoin Otter Association. That's why we do what we do. Okay. We're a 508 C1A. 508 C1A, nonprofit organization. So I'm pretty much, let me see, do I have anything else? Cash App, that was pretty much it. I guess this is humorous, right? We can sign off on this one. Alleged illegal immigrant, this is from Zero Hedge, who couldn't speak English, caught trying to rob a bank using a translator app. Well, at least he's using initiative. He's taking initiative, criminal initiative. Excuse me, of course, criminal. That's just what he does. He probably came from a, let's see, where was he from? Venezuela. He probably came from a Venezuela jail, ordered right up by Grandpa Joe. Not his grandpa because, well, that, the New Guineans got him. But, the guy used the translator app. It didn't work, though, so he got arrested. But I mean, I'm sure he'll be let out without bail or anything, so he can try it again. Try again, because if you are an illegal alien here in the United States, you don't have to worry about going to jail. You don't have to worry about any of that because they're taking care of you. Now, if you're an American citizen, not so much. You're not going to get taken care of. You're not going to have the protection of a border patrol that receives $300 million. Why? Because that's for Ukraine. Understand? That's for Ukraine. $300 million for the Ukrainian border patrol. Yeah. See, now you're getting it. Yeah. So I want to leave you with this. Okay? Because I and we are not about fear. We're not about being afraid. We are about being prepared. Okay? And when you're prepared, you're not scared. When you're prepared, you're not scared. So let's be prepared, right? Now, let me talk a little bit about fear from the authority. What is the authority? The Bible. And I'm not going to preach to you. I just want to read you a little snippet here from 1 John. 1 John 4:18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. Not crazy easy to understand, but let this suffice as a summary. God loved us so much that he gave his son. His son died for you, died for me. In that love is no punishment. See, the law punished us. That was done away with because it was perfectly completed by the Son, Jesus. And that Son became a sacrifice for you and me. Now, what he did was give us a gift, salvation. We have to accept it. If we accept that gift, the punishment thing is out. Are we going to die? Yeah, we are. But who wants to live on this earth forever anyway? We got a better place to go to. Not right now, hopefully. But we got a better place to go to. And he guarantees that. But basically, his love pushes out fear. All we have to do is look for it. All we have to do is accept his gift. Yeah, there's scary times. And there's going to be more, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be more. This 2024 is going to be a roller coaster. But we can prepare. And we don't have to be scared. Perfect love drives out fear. Read your Bible. You want some passages for situations going on in your life? bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. I want to help you with everything I can. If I'm not, then I'm doing something wrong and I'm not fulfilling my purpose. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Mike and Yvonne, glad to see you. Eileen is watching. We're going to sign off. If you guys want to see the first part of the show, please rewatch it. But I want to thank you all. God bless all of you and have a great Thursday. Lord willing, we'll see you again next week.
This is the Bitcoin Otter Radio Show
Oh my God, I love you so much.
on 97.7